back into the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. A fairly short kick from the 14.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
First play and a first throw for Rodgers.
And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Rodgers now to throw.
Pass caught. It's Romeo Doubs. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. He finds Randall Cobb with a completion.
And down near the 35-yard line.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. On play action, it's Rodgers. Dancing to his left. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
The Packers at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1, and they were able to get that road victory in the opener, and now they look to get to 2-0 in front of the home crowd.
And look, any road win in the NFL, that's huge. But when you do it Week 1, that gets you pointed in the right direction and sends notice to the rest of the league that you mean business.
Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A good-looking drive for the Packers so far. It's a first down.
Dobbs made it day 3 of the draft, and Green Bay loves the dimension he brings to their group of receivers, and that's speed. The head coach really wanted someone who could take the top off of the defense in the draft, and they got it in Romeo Doubs out of Nevada. You can easily see him getting steadily more and more targets as the weeks go on.
Stopped on the play by Jaquan Brisker.
Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Here's Rodgers.
Throw right side, hauled in by Dobbs.
And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. It's a 10-yard gain there to set them up 1st and goal.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
Jones is in. Touchdown, Packers.
They scored the most points of anyone on opening weekend, and now first quarter touchdown here.
And while there's no guarantee that all the points they score in opening weekend are going to hold up and be the average all year long, they're certainly starting to set that type of a pace. And what you do with that is you put in the heads of all of your opponents, we've got to really be ready on defense because these guys know how to put the ball in the end zone.
You think they can keep piling on the points like this?
I think they can if they're prepared to adjust and adapt because they won't see the same defenses week in and week out.
Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10
at their 25-yard line.
Here's Fields.
He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big pickup of 38.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
First carry now for David Montgomery.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
This defense for the Packers, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one, but 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
So many times we've seen him trying to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
A shotgun snap, Fields.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by the former Bear, Adrian Amos. And the Packers will take over here just shy of the 30. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much. And it turned out that it got into his head a little bit. But that's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working. But how about his vision to see where the play was going? Crashed down inside and tackled him for a loss.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. To throw, it's Rodgers.
He has it complete to Christian Watson, finding room at midfield. And he will finally be escorted out of bounds down inside the 35.
A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run.
We spent a lot of time talking about what's going on the field. How about off the field with the evaluation? And they spent a lot of time saying, we've got to get a rookie in here who has big playability, and that's exactly what we're seeing here early in his career.
Drafted him in the spring. Here he is early in the fall making an impact. Now a 1st down carry by Jones. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give him the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
That's complete to a speedy wideout Goodwin.
And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a 1st down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Rodgers tapping this forward on the jet sweep. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. Romeo Doubs with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Packers are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead.
Crosby with the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now a give running left with Montgomery. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Charles, when you talk about free safeties, I think one word comes to mind, range. And we saw an example of a rangy free safety right there.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
He sets to fire deep. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
4th down, so they send out Trenton Gill.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. It'll be just an 18-yard punt, and the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. Play fake. Rodgers sliding out of the pocket. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, the connection they've had has been excellent today, but not on that snap. I think he was asking just a little too much as he extended that play, hoping for one more completion with him.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And some space here. Yeah, they're into the end zone, but it's not verified yet. Hold on, there is a flag down. So retract the yardage and retract the touchdown.
And retract the chunk play. Big strike there to get the touchdown. Now they've got to take it back and see if they've got another one still in their arsenal.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers.
That's complete to Doubs. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. To throw is Rodgers. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Rodgers.
A throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
Caught on the right side by Jones. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And again, it's Rodgers. Touchdown!
Romeo Doubs
With his 2nd touchdown here in this first half.
And the Packers have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns.
And he pushed it right. It's no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
Early on, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this...
that's into a double team, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Jair Alexander.
CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17.
It's a gain of 16 and a 1st down for the green and gold.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside, and so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
And the Packers are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
This offense continues to be a hot knife through butter. 3 drives, 3 scores, and knocking on the door again on drive number 4.
Now Rodgers. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year.
And the Packers are able to widen their lead here in this first half.
Crosby connects on the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah.
Oh, Fields is intercepted for a third time. Picked off by Eric Stokes.
And into the end zone. It's a pick six and a Packer touchdown.
I cannot imagine a more perfect half of football for one side, CD, and a more disastrous half of football for another side. But if you focus on the positive half, with this pick six, you look at where that lead is at, and to think that we are only in the second quarter. My goodness.
I love the expression. My goodness, indeed. Pretty obvious. It's a free fall out there. Everybody gets a chance to make a play. And if you're on the field, you've got a great chance of being the next guy that your teammates are celebrating.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
From the gun on third down, Fields.
Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Preston Smith gets in there to drop him for a loss of 13 yards, and it's also fourth down now. So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. Ooh, with a juke. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return, and it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line.
Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
41 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
The duo of Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon split the work in Green Bay last season. Jones was still his excellent self with almost 1,400 all-purpose yards and 10 touchdowns. He even moved into the all-time top 5 for the Pack in rushing. No small feat with that franchise's history.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
From the 34 now, here's first and 10. Again, it's Jones. And a short gain down to about the 33. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Up the middle, Jones. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On 3rd down, here's Jones. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So now on 4th down, Rodgers will give way to Mason Crosby for the field goal try. And that is no good. But there is a flag down. He might get another shot at this.
Okay, so the personal foul penalty, and those are some important yards lost right there.
Yeah, it all comes down to discipline, doesn't it? And every team tells us that they coach it, they preach it. In this case, it slipped a little bit.
After the penalty, it's Jones. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
And when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. So we're at halftime here at Lambeau with the Packers taking the lead to the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Bears going to see the football first, and they trail here as we get back underway to start this second half. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
First down, here's the run to Montgomery. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
This defense just continues to bottle up that ground game. And look, I mean, the deficit right now for this offense is so big that it might not matter. But you're still in the 3rd quarter. They're probably going to have to try things through the air, Charles.
I agree with you totally. That's what they'll have to do. They do need to run it occasionally to take a few hits off the quarterback, because right now, you just know those pass rushers are fired up to get after it.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Man open, here is Jones. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. To throw is Fields. He'll leave it for Montgomery complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Now a 1st down throw, Fields.
Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Odell Beckham, his first touchdown here of the new campaign.
And the Bears are able to cut into that deficit.
Santos with the extra point, and the lead drops from 34 down to 27. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
On play action, now Rodgers.
Open man left side, it's the tight end, Tunyon. It'll be a gain of 5.
And now 3rd down and 6 to go. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Deep ball for Goodwin.
And it's knocked away and incomplete.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
On the return is Pettis. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 35 yards that time on the punt, and the Bears take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual. At this point in the game, in the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception.
Picked off by Eric Stokes.
Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
This is caught. It's Christian Watson.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Here's Rodgers to throw. And he fires one incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time.
Green Bay, Wisconsin is the spot. 3rd quarter inside Lambeau. Glad you're with us. 2nd and 10.
An inside give to Jones. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. So 8 yards on the completion there, and it'll be 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks.
So they got the turnover started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. Goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
In every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. And it's intercepted at the goal line. A.J. Bowie able to pick.
And the Packers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness.
Picked up by Jalen Johnson. And the Bears will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game. But that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day. They've tried their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
On play action, Fields.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
He completes it to Beckham. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
From the gun, here's Fields.
Eluding the pressure right. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain. The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 5 to this point. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches.
Out of the gun, Fields.
And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it, incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Fourth down, Fields has to have this one.
And my goodness, another interception.
Picked up by the former Bear, Adrian Amos. And the Packers are in great shape here as as they take over at their 46-yard line. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
Able to convert on 3rd and 14, a terrific play call.
This offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10.
Running right, Jones. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Rodgers going to throw. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early.
Well, there were about 70,000 that were quickly calling for that flag. It comes out there for pass interference.
And what do you think, partner? A little sarcasm in that cheering from this crowd here tonight. What they're hoping now is to build a little momentum.
And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay.
Aaron Jones,
his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year.
And the Packers are on their way to a 2-0 start.
Extra point up and good by Crosby. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future.
Montgomery hit, and the ball is loose. And the Packers pick it up. And the return will stop right around the 25.
You've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
They'll go again to Jones. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the 1st. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
A give to Jones. And power running here down to the 6-yard line.
97 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
Well, partner, Marvin, our number one stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. The give is to Jones. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Now Jones. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a third down.
Well, that kind of hit will certainly fire up your team both on the field and on the sideline. Tackles for lost yardage, they're always welcome.
Here's Jones. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only able to pick up a yard, and that's going to leave him with a long 4th and goal. The partner under the lights in prime time, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere, where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.
So for Green Bay, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for Chicago, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the...
I'm the best, and you know. And I got it, on my own. Get my way up, get my go, go. If I touch it, then it's cold, I'm the best, and you know. And I got it, on my own. Get my way up, get my go. If I touch it, then it's cold. Losing's what I never do. How you supposed to walk with me? I'm 80 steps ahead of you. My mind is on Socrates, all my balls on Rubik's Cube. Every time I do it, I just have to do it beautiful. I can't let this moment pass. Yeah, I know my time is now. Know my mama proud of me, and my grandma smiling down. Every time I turn it up, whole crowd be wildin' out. Matter of fact, let me see your hands. Look, I saw my shot and I took it. I couldn't do it different. Couldn't afford to stop and go. I had to stay consistent. Made up my mind that no matter what, I gotta win. That's why it's always me and never them. One shot for everybody living in the moment. One shot is all you get, so you gotta own it. One shot. You only get one shot. One shot for everybody living in the moment. One shot is all you get, so you gotta own it. One shot. You only get one shot.
Heart of a lion, my my time, here I go. I am not moving in silence. If it ain't moving, move it. We making movies, moving. I get a chance and take it. We bout to build it. They leaving it vacant. I just go harder. I am unbothered. I gotta get it. I am so with it. I will go get it. That is the difference. I am not waiting. I am not faking. Everything out here, that's for the taking. My mind too right. My grind too tight. This head rhyme too nice. This my world, my life. One shot, who me? Take that, ooh-wee. One shot, movie. That's all you need. One shot, who me? Take that, ooh-wee. One shot, movie. That's all you need.
One shot for everybody living in the moment. One shot.